you have these PowerPoints done to you guys, right?
We'll
So,
send it to them.
yeah. Feel free to write stuff down if I'm going too fast. Let me know. But like I said, there are two kinds: the American Opportunity Credit, which is a little bit more open, and there's the Lifetime Learning Credit, which is a little bit more restrictive on the types of expenses you can claim. But if you're over 4 years, like you're a grad student, then this would apply to them. Okay. So basically, just from this slide, they can't claim it if they have parents who are claiming them. So make sure you ask them, like, hey, if you want to claim this, it would be through your parents' return. And if you have foreign students, they can't claim this credit. So non-resident aliens, they can't claim this credit. Only, if you're a citizen, then you can claim the American Opportunity Credit or the Lifetime Learning Credit. And they have to be enrolled in an eligible post-secondary school, so basically like this university, any other college. I don't think this applies to like those technical schools, like, if they're going through like a nursing course or something very technical. It has to be an eligible post-secondary school. Okay. So the qualifying expenses would be reported on your 1098-T. There's going to be a picture of a form that I'll show you guys. But tuition, books, I know it says laptops, but scratch that off, no laptops.
Not even just for school only?
That's a very huge stretch. Like, unless it's like a low-cost laptop, like the government in general allows you to deduct things if they're within a reasonable range. Say, if it's
like under 500 or something like that?
Something like that. Like if it's a very small netbook, maybe, and it's required for a class, you could argue with that. But if it's like a nice MacBook,
well, 500 for mine.
And if in that case, maybe. But
Yeah.
I would probably just err on the side of
Yeah,
being
yeah,
more
you're right.
conservative.
Well,
Yeah.
like if that specific laptop is listed on the instructor's syllabus, I think that's like.
If it's definitely required. Are there professors that say you need to buy or need a laptop? Because you could go to the computer lab. Like the government will say, like, don't you have a computer lab? Could you do work? I know it's maybe a hassle, but yeah. Yeah.
Was there any way to like stop average amount like let's say it's not about this plan, but would it be able to like deduct like $200 off of it just out of your laptop? Because I think it's the school like you would really
I mean, I feel like you could, but even just paying tuition anyways would take most of this credit under the expenses anyways. So that would I would just say yeah, but like your tuition expenses cover this amount anyways for your credit. But, yeah.
What if you have financial aid and also pays for tuition? Can you still put tuition?
No, it's like what you pay out of pocket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So not what you pay out of like grants and everything like that.
So
Whatever
yeah, I
you
was
pay out
actually,
of pocket will show up on the 1098-T.
Oh, okay.
yeah, we'll go look at it real quick. But there should be amounts reported.
Yeah.
And so if you have scholarships that are going to be paid towards your tuition, you have to reduce your expenses. So I think that's line 2, right? It says your amounts billed towards qualified tuition and is that related expenses. So if you had 2,500 reported, at the bottom you would have to have reduced that. So instead of reporting the full 9,800, you would put 7,300 towards the education credit. So pay very, very, very close attention if they do have scholarships. But also as a side note, if you have loans, which maybe a good amount of you guys do, since you guys are going to be financially responsible for paying those loans, and even though it's not necessarily out of your pocket now, it's going to come out of your pocket later because you are personally responsible to paying those loans, right? So in the end, if you're paying those loans, you can take the expense now. So just think of it like, am I financially responsible? Scholarships, that didn't come out of your pocket and you don't have to pay that, right? So scholarships definitely subtract that. If you had, financial aid, loans, you can count that now. So that should show up like on these line items. Most of the things that you'd be looking at on a 1098T would be 1, 2, 5. So 1 would be payments that the institution received throughout the year. Expenses that were billed, normally they're around the same. And that also I think counts for if you have winter classes. I think there's like a tax rule if you pay, even though it's in the next tax year. If it's within the first 3 months, you can still claim that on the tax return you're doing now. You just have to make sure you're not claiming that again. Again, no double dipping kind of thing. So you can claim winter classes towards the tax year beforehand.
I think for that case, there's going to be amounts on other lines, on other boxes.
Like adjustments or something?
Yeah, if they claimed it like the year before.
Okay.
But
As long as the software is going to ask you, I'm sure, line by line, hey, what's reported as payments received throughout the year? What expenses did this client, pay throughout the year? Line 2, any scholarships? I'm sure that the software will take out that. So just be mindful of like big picture. Okay, if they have scholarships, I should expect to see a reduction in the expenses you can claim on the education credits, the 8863. Let's see. Yeah, so expenses that don't include room and board, student health fees, insurance, transportation costs, like for the parking permits, that kind of thing. So don't include those. Yeah, so like we said, remove portions of tax-free scholarships if they had Pell grants. I think I had someone come in with like Coverdell, like if they had accounts specifically for education. Maybe they had like, I don't know, a grandparent gift them through like a Coverdell, like through accounts specifically to pay for their education. You would have to subtract that out as well. So yeah, it's not a scholarship, but it's still funds that they received that wasn't out of their own pocket. So when you're talking to a client that is able to get these education credits, like their parents aren't claiming them, and they are able to claim them, have a thorough interview and say like, what are all your sources of funds that you paid to the school? Gifts or scholarships, loans, and from there you can kind of separate what are they financially responsible for, what can you actually report. Paid. So like we mentioned, prepayments of the next academic year can be included. So the January classes, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So if you're prepaying for next semester,
Mhm.
and so you're paying the full amount, but your financial aid comes in the next year, do you account for that next year, or do you plan ahead, like you know how much you're already getting?
Like you pay the full amount for the like including like fall semester?
Yeah, like right now, you like registered a month ago or whatever, paid it off, and then you'll get your financial aid, what, a couple weeks into the semester next year, or this year, sorry, forgot already. And so then you would include the tuition of last year, but not include the financial aid until next year's taxes?
I don't think you would include it because you'd get like a refund back from your financial aid, right? So it would end up balancing.
From the-
Is that what you're saying? Because
The previous year, yes.
oh,
Why, why didn't you use the tax credit? That's what that's like, have a reference.
Oh. I don't think I've really run into the case, but I think that's where you have to do some like manual work or manual calculation where you have to divide out which one actually counts. Because you can't like include all of that financially, right? Some of them just relate to the fall, like the normal school year, like fall and spring. That's going to be the next new school year. But that's why I'm very much specifying, like if it's the January winter months, like the first 3 months into the year, that portion of the financial aid, you can count that on your tax return. Everything else is gonna be the next year. And if you do claim those winter months again, like make sure you don't reclaim that again. Like you're just not allowed. Good question. Did you guys have any questions on the 1098T? Because this one is like the one some people have problems with, but you guys are pretty comfortable. Okay. So these are some of the rules for the American Opportunity Credit. It's permitted for the first 4 years only. I know some clients try to get creative and they're like, well, I went to school for 1 year, skipped off or whatever, and then I took my second, third, fourth year, right? Like that's all in all 4 years I went to school. But it spans like 5 years, right? Because they said they skipped a year in the middle. For simplicity's sake, it's, and I think it's in the regs as well, it's 5 like consecutive tax years. You can't be like, I skipped the year. But then theoretically you could say, well, I went to school like last year, skip, and then took like 3 years later on, right? Like that just doesn't make sense. So the government confines it to just like the first 4 tax, years of your education for college. So if they didn't complete, their 4 years of education by the beginning of 2016, like if they didn't complete 4 years by January 1st, 2016, then they are eligible for this credit. So books, supplies, I guess this is a question. If they have a felony drug conviction, this credit is just out the window. So I'm pretty sure not a lot of these, I don't think I've seen. So up to 40% of the credit is treated as refundable. So like we said, if there's an excess, they can get $1,000 back. So max is $2,500. So I think what is that? 40% of that, 1,000 can be increased. Can increase your refund. So if you had a refund of 4,000 and you have an excess amount reported from your education credits, now it's like 5,000. So that's that. Now for the lifetime learning credit versus the American one, this one has no limit. Like you can go to school past 4 years, you're a grad student, or you're just taking even extra classes on the side. Like sometimes they'll have people come in and say like, hey, I want to take classes at community college. I want to further my education by taking some stuff at LECC, and had books and stuff like that that I needed, and that's where they can claim the lifetime learning credit. Now this one is more restrictive, where they have to have paid it to the school, and it's required by the class to have that. So the books, supplies, fees, equipment, pay directly to the school if they need, if they're going to get the lifetime learning credit. The American Opportunity Credit, as long as you paid it wherever you bought it, like from used books, whatever, you can claim used books. Even if you didn't buy it from the school, you can claim it. Lifetime learning, straight to the school. And this one, unlike the American Opportunity Credit, none of it is refundable. So this credit can only reduce your tax liability. If you have an excess, you don't get anything back. Felony drug conviction rule does not apply, so if they have something like that, well, they can claim it, I guess. It's all good. Let's see. So up to 20% of their expenses up to $10,000 are allowed. So if they spend around like more than that, it's capped anyways up to $10,000. So 20% of the $10,000 max expenses would show up as $2,000 as a reduction of your tax liability. And I don't know if I already mentioned it, it's one or the other. They cannot receive both the American Opportunity Credit and the lifetime credit. It's one or the other. And it's the same thing with the tuition and fees deduction. If they don't fall into either category, or if they say like, hey, what about the tuition and fees deduction? Can I take it as an adjustment to AGI? So remember we had income, and we had AGI. And as part of your deductions to AGI, there's like tuition and fees deduction. Like we talked about before, adjustments to AGI are not as beneficial as a tax credit, because tax credits reduce your tax liability dollar for dollar. If you had, a lot of tax and you want some tax credits to offset your actual tax, not your income. Because if you're decreasing your income, that's only a portion, you're reducing your taxable income and it's just barely anything versus your tax liability is dollar for dollar. So if they ask it, you said, yeah, that might, be able to apply, but you probably get a better benefit from one of these tax credits, education credits. Yeah, so like I said, cannot take both. Tax layer for this year, so it will show the form 8863. I'm sure there are examples of 8863. So, briefly talked about the child tax credit. A lot of these credits are going to calculate anyways, so don't really need to see some of these. This one. Sometimes I've seen if some California residents owe, and they say like, is there any way for me to reduce my California tax liability? And well, you can ask them, hey, do you pay rent? If you pay rent, you get the California renters credit. I forget the amount, but I think it's not too big. It's still something, but it's not too huge. But it can still reduce your tax liability for California, so keep that in mind. Non-refundable, so you don't get anything of it back. But there are special requirements, like you've had to have paid rent for at least half the year, been a California resident for the whole year. No one's claiming you, so if they are being claimed, this is out the window already, that they can't claim the California credit. That's what it is. Yeah, so it's $60.
Oh, that's nothing. What's that?
Nothing, something, but it's not really too much.
It helps.
It helps, every little bit helps, right? Because they're college students, I'm sure every little bit helps.
Yeah.
It's gas.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on what part you're driving.
Yeah.
Here we go. Sometimes I've seen rejects on this earned income credit. So like we talked about it before, they're able to claim a tax credit if they have low income, so not a lot of income. So it reduces your tax burden and supplements wages. So what it basically means is that the government is giving you a freebie for payments. Like, hey, you didn't have a lot of withholdings, you didn't make a lot, but let's add to your payments. Let's give you a tax credit. And this one is a refundable credit. So that's one of the biggest things that is a selling point for VITA. Since we have a lot of low income taxpayers, they come in seeking the earned income credit, because not only does it help low income taxpayers by having an additional payment to your taxes, it's also considered a refundable credit. So if you have, zero tax liability, again, you can get money back from this. So this is one of the most valuable credits offered by the IRS. These are the requirements. So like I said, they can't claim it if they're under 25. So if you have, students saying, I work for myself, I pay for all this stuff, but if they're under the age, threshold, they can't claim it at all. So just be very mindful that 25 or not, you can't get it.
This is kind of a redundant question, but can somebody file jointly with somebody else?
What do you mean,
Like, hey, Jose, do you want to file jointly together? And then we'll just file jointly?
No, they have to be married.
You're married, right? Like,
No, but do I need to be married to do that?
Yes.
yes, that's what.
Okay.
Yeah. But, and also another requirement is that you have have to
Yeah.
have lived in the US for more than half the year, so there are certain, taxpayers, if they're resident alien, they are able to earn, this tax credit as well. And then one thing to note is that there are going to be some people who do owe, and they're going to say, well, hold up, like, can't you have extensions? Can't you extend my tax return? You're like, yes, it's true that you can extend your tax return, but that does not mean that it is an extension of your payment. You have to pay your tax due on the original filing date, which would be April 18, in 2017. So make sure if you do have someone who has an amount due, they have to email this form, like 1040B, to make sure that it should print out though on TaxSlayer, I'm sure. And there's certain like addresses that they have to send these payments to. Did you guys have any questions about any of those credits? All good? Okay. I know we're running out of time, so like 30 more minutes, so bear with me. I'm gonna go a little bit through the ACA and the Health Care Act and stuff. You'll run into some people with that. You guys can kind of read it right now.
Do the slideshow.
I could, but that's what I guess.
It's low.
It's slow, right? I'm just gonna keep it on this, I guess.
Oh,